Okay, looks like we're live again. All right, we get back to work. Apologies once again. I have food with me because I didn't have an opportunity to snack beforehand. Huh? I don't know why. Suddenly I've been getting Skype notifications. Pretty sure that I don't use Skype. I haven't used it in years. Hold on a second while I turn Skype off. There we go. Hopefully next time I turn the computer on, I won't have to deal with Skype anymore. I wonder why it turned itself on. I have no idea why I would do that. Somehow the gate got messed up. Don't know why that would happen. But it did. So 5. Okay, so if I recall last time I was working on the mesh for the pressure plate. So let's get back to work on that. Okay. Question is, what kind of texture should I use? Probably metal. Yeah, probably something metallic. I think I'll just keep it simple and use the same material for the button and the actual, like a plate thing. Oh, and then what I'm probably going to do is also just, I'll, I'll probably just scale it like that when you press the button. I think that's because I think that's what they do in Ocarina of Time when you step on a pressure plate. It just kind of scales on the y-axis like that. Yeah, it doesn't from the it doesn't do it from the middle. It does it from like the bottom. I think that's the general idea. Like that. Oh, and apparently the bottom isn't at 0. Once again, no idea why that would happen. I think that should be problem solved. So what I think I'm going to do about this texture is I'm going to import one of the Screaming Brain Studio's metal textures, but then I'm going to kind of paint on top of it over here to better aligned with the appearance of a pressure plate. So these are some of the texture packs that I downloaded from Screaming Brain Studios. Just gonna quickly go through them and see if I can find one that I like. No. I'm gonna take a look at the tile ones. Nah. How about this? Hmm. Maybe this one. So I'm not going to use this as like the texture on its own. What I'm going to do is I'm going to import this and then I'm going to like paint on top of it. But I'm thinking the main part of the pressure plate can have this kind of thing on it. So yeah, I think I'll use that. I think I might as well copy this into the Godot trench broom directory so I can use it for other things. But yeah. Okay, let's copy this, paste it here. I'll change the name to like metal book3.png just for now. Actually, what do you call this pattern? I wonder if any I have no idea what to Google to figure out what this is called. Because I've seen it. It's like designed to make it easier. It's like a metal surface that's like designed to be. It's designed to not slip on. You see it in like some industrial equipment, but I don't know what it's called. I'll just call it Metal 3 for now. But start off, I'm going to. Oh, actually, what texture resolution is this? 128 by 128. Okay, that's a little bit too high. I believe the N64 supported a maximum of 64 by 128, technically, but it was usually like usually it would only go up to like 64 by 64, and then so 64 by 64 was like the usual maximum that most games would use. I think keyword is I think. I don't actually know that, but I think more games would use 32 by 32 since it's more space efficient in RAM, like VRAM. I think for the 32-bit the 32-bit I think for the 32 by 32 version is I'm going to instead of scaling it down I'm going to cut it into like a quarter because if I lower it too much I'm going to lose the detail that I don't want to lose. So the problem with this texture is that there's a lot of it seems like there's a lot of actual detail that's in the pixels that I don't really want to gloss over. So what I'm gonna do is canvas size 32 and then use like the top left corner. Hopefully this is hopefully this is good enough to be seamless. I'm pretty sure there's a way to like view a image as like a seamless or as like a tiling texture in GIMP, but I forget how to do that. I've done it before. I forget how. I'll just do this for now. But since this is such an important object, I'm going to use the 64 by 64 version. So open, I'm in the wrong directory. Too flat. It should be, I think at least this part should have smooth shading. At least I think so. It's a good start, I think. Let's blur the sides out a little bit. It's a little too intense. Is there a way to turn wireframe on without turning the actual material texture off? I don't know how to do that. It's outline, it's not the same thing. Okay, what I'll do is I'll temporarily turn the shading back to flat so I can better see the borders here. Okay, a necessary temporary sacrifice. All right, let's do shading these corners here. Hmm. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I can leave the lighting flat. I could probably just leave it how it is. I think for these edges, I should smooth them out or smear them out because I don't want this pattern to show up over there. I still want people to recognize that it's made out of metal. And let's darken this a little bit more. I'm gonna draw it a little bit directly in here. Right. Some edge highlighting. By the way, I'm using skills that I acquired from painting Warhammer miniatures. Edge highlighting, um, shading the I'm not sure what to call it, but it's like shading the recesses. This is kind of like a dry brushing sort of effect. Like you take the paintbrush, you dip it in paint, you wipe most of it off, and then you kind of scrape it over the surface so that only the raised areas are caught by the paint. And then you usually do that with like light or with like a white paint or light gray or light brown. Like basically a lighter version of whatever color it is that you happen to be using. Then this is kind of represented by using like a wash. So like a Nuln oil. It seeps into the cracks and darkens them, emphasizing shadow. I think I might as well add like a white border to the edges too. So it looks a bit more natural. Is there a way to like a... Because I know that in GIMP you can draw straight lines by like by like pressing a point, holding shift, and then pressing another point. But I don't think you can do that in the Blender texture editor. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just clicking and dragging with the mouse. To be honest, I think it looks fine. I don't think it looks terrible. Like technically I'm messing up over here, but you can easily dismiss that as part of the actual texture, I think. Okay. I think we got ourselves a nice little asset. Let's take this texture, save as. I'm not going to save it as Metal 3 x64. I'm going to save it as pressure plate. You know what? I think I might as well keep it in here. Even though it's technically not a... I guess it is kind of... You could pass it off as like a tiling texture. And I guess I could technically recycle this for other things, but... I'll just leave it. I'll just put it there. If it causes problems, I'll move it somewhere else. I don't see it causing problems, so I'll just leave it. Support as GLTF. Excuse me. Hope the scale isn't too big. Oh, that is perfect scale. That is actually perfect. I'm just going to make a reusable pressure plate asset. And we should be off to the races in terms of actually implementing it. Oh, wait a minute. Apparently I already have a pressure plate. So just out of curiosity, what is it? Huh. Oh yeah, I made this for that dungeon level like a year or two ago. Kind of forgot about it. What's with this kinematic body? What is it? What? What in the world? Why is there a kinematic body? What's the point of this? Hmm. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rename this to old. I'm just gonna call this pressure plate. Unpressed. Should be good. Okay, now I gotta add the actual logic and stuff. To be honest, I don't think the actual Switch needs to have any collision. Except maybe the base. Maybe the base. The idea is that if the player is like standing over here, then this should be pressed anyways. That's my logic, at least. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. You know what? I might as well. And the cool thing is about this is that I think, yeah. See the collision for the collision for the Switch actually scales up and down with the mesh because it's a child object. So static body scales with the cube. I shouldn't have called it a cube. Oh, I forgot to rename. I forgot to actually name the mesh in Blender. It's not worth fixing. I'll just leave it. Okay. Trying to figure out which of these to use. On player enter. Well, it looks like there's some extension updates. Oh, never mind. These are. Oh, it's the wrong tab. Source control extensions. I'll do that later. Unplay it. Could probably use the same script. It's not. Oh, that's why. Why did I use this? You don't need this. This is dumb. You don't need an animation tree for something like this. But I kind of regret using animation trees at all. I feel like I should have done more of it through script. What did I do here? Okay, I feel like that's actually probably a good idea. Okay. I think I should make 3 variants of the Switch, kind of like what they had in Ocarina of Time. So I believe in Ocarina of Time there are 3 variants of switches. There's like a yellow one where you press it and it just stays pressed, and then there's a blue one where you have to like hold it down somehow. And I think there's a red one where it's timed. I could be mistaking that, but I'm pretty sure that there's like multiple ways that a switch can behave when you press it. It's like yeah, there's like a one shot one. There's a press and hold it down, and then there's a press and timer. Yeah. I think for this, I should actually make a completely new script. Yeah, let's make a new script. I've always been told in that you should initialize um, these kinds of objects with like some sort of default value. Like when I was in university, in my experience, it served me pretty well. But yeah, just gonna quickly see if this shows up. The inspector. Okay, normal hold timed. Oh, I should call this on pressed and on unpressed. Any other arguments I'm forgetting about? Nope. All right. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish this today, but I'll try to do it. I'll do as much as possible. I only got like 10 minutes or so before I have to quit. Oops. Hmm. Physics body. Oh, I need to specify what type it is. I need to specify a way to there needs to be a way to press a switch that doesn't where it's like it's not necessarily the player pressing it, but I don't want like just anything to be able to press switches, like only specific like so in certain dungeons in Ocarina of Time, you can put a switch, you can put like a little box on top of the switch and it'll activate it. So I kind of want to do something that's similar to that. So this checks to see. So if the node is not the player and node that is in group. What should I call this group? Let's call it wait for now. The idea is that the pressure plate will respond to if wait if either the player steps on it or if a weight is put on it. Does that make sense? So if it's not the player, it's such that's come into contact with the area. And it is not a weight, then just return out. Don't do any of this. But if it is the player, or if it is a weight, then it'll go right past this and go on to this stuff. I think that makes sense. Realize I don't have a sound effect for like a countdown for the countdown timer. Whenever a switch had a timer attached to it, it would play like a ticking down sound that would loop until the timer ran out, and then the switch would unpress. Now I'm wondering, what's the best way to implement that kind of sound effect? Probably this. I want to test this out and see if it actually like works on any level. Let's give it a shot before I exit out for today. Hmm. Huh, something's not working. Hmm. Oh, wrong scene. Huh. Going on. Our body entered. I think I might have encountered this before. There we go. Yeah, so I was using the wrong signal. Should have been body entered, not area entered. This area entered only works with other areas. Whereas the player himself is not an area, he's a he's a kinematic body. Hey, seems to work. All right, good progress. I think tomorrow, or at the very least next stream, hopefully tomorrow, I'll connect this pressure plate with the gate here. Yeah, have a good night.